Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good Monday so far. Um, we had a little dip down on GPJPY as I was coming on to the stream here this morning, and I saw that GPJPY had a little dip down, and I'm like, well, if it's coming down to go back up, or what's going on here? So we're going to take a look at that here a little bit. But right now, what we're looking at the weekly candle. Well, what I'm looking at is the weekly candle in GPJPY, and the previous weekly candle closed bullish, right? So basically, I'm expecting this current weekly candle to continue moving bullish, but it has to respect the lower here. I mean, if this was a 30-minute chart, if this was a 1 hour chart, I'd probably say that, yeah, like this weekly candle has to go bullish. So, like should at least come up towards 136,630 and then continue on maybe later on in August to continue on towards 139. So we're going to see what happens. The daily candle did come down. Daily candle is kind of like tapping into the same area where the previous daily candle tapped into, the Friday daily candle, around 135, 200. Looking at the 4 hour, 4 hour is still respecting the support. Let's just make this a little bit more streamlined, perhaps, just like that. Yeah, looks like it's still respecting that support, and then we got resistance right over here in the 4 hour, 135, 700. Looking down to the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame is kind of like ranging right now. So I mean, the price action on the 1 hour time frame is not that good. I mean, you have a resistance right over here, and then you have, I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, yeah, it's not good at all. I don't like it at all. Not one bit. It's just garbage. Yeah, so you got this tight range, and this range is what? This is like a 20, 30, 30 pip range, but the candle's just printing side by side, so I don't think this is good enough so far. So I'm probably just gonna wait a little bit. Gold, on the other hand, is continuing, man. 1942. Had 1942 shots on Saturday. Really good, really smooth. But damn, this is just going up. There's no stopping gold. Even 1 hour since Asian session yesterday, we had a little bit of a consolidation, and then boom, continuation up. Let's take a look at pre-markets over here. Pre-markets. Pre-markets. Oh, it looks like nothing is opening over here. Interesting. Pre-market data is positive, 85 points. So when we look at pre-market data, oh, one more important thing is like there are a lot of earning reports happening this week. Lots of earning reports. So that's going to move US 30, SP and SP and 500 a lot. Um, Basically, the earning reports are of the major companies here. So we'll see what happens. I think that's on a Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not really sure, but it's on Wednesday or Thursday. US 30 is also ranging here. We are in a range on US 30 here as well. We got resistance forming here. Then we got a support down over here. Yeah, I mean, it's a Monday. On Monday, when I see price action like this on GPJPY, it's just like, yeah, I'll have to stay away. I'm not sure, like, where it's going to go. So it's best case scenario is just to say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to wait. Because look, this is a range on the 1 hour. And then when we break above, 135, 480, then there's this nasty, nasty range. So it's going to get very difficult here. What do you think about Paul started to use a Chinese indicator? I don't know. I don't like to think about stuff that's not going to affect me or or the way I trade. I just don't think about those things. Let's see here. So this is, all right. Let's take a look at this chart here. Ooh, GJ. Do you think lack of wick below may have been the deal breaker? I need to think that I missed some analysis. Oh, rejection confirmed. Candle closed bearish. Oh, you entered right over here. So basically entered right at support. Yeah, it wasn't clean. I wouldn't have taken a sell. I would have waited for another candle to maybe close below and then taken a sell. But at this time, I wouldn't have taken a sell. Will we be looking at other pairs today? There's no we. I mean, I only look at GPJPY because that's the only pair I trade. I'm not going to look at some other pairs because, so the thing is, you need to send a chart, So when you send a chart on the pair that you're trying to take a trade, I think that helps you a lot too, because now you're going to get feedback on your charts, You're going to get some sort of constructive criticism as well. Like this chart here. Let's take a look at this. This is, see what this, ooh, wrong chart, man. Wrong chart. Have you heard about guerrilla trading scalping strategy? No, not at all. Looking at the daily on your JPY, daily has reached a very, very strong resistance at 124. This 124 is extremely strong. The last time price was at 124 was in June 2020, like a month ago. Before that, when price was at 124, was all the way back on May 2019, right? So this is an extremely, extremely strong level, 124. If you go down to the daily is kind of like rejecting, but at the same time, previous daily kind of rejected 122. So we're going to go down to the 4-hour chart, and looking at the 4-hour, let's just reanalyze, let's just redraw this zone now, right? Because now we're going to make it much more narrower, much more cleaner. You got resistance up over there, and then you got another resistance right here at 123,700, right? And then it seems like price is creating some sort of a support here on the 1-hour time frame, which is going to be a new support formed right over here. So I think the best case scenario would be to wait for price to continue up, create resistance, and then come back down to retest the low. That's what I think, because like we're rejecting a very, very strong resistance. So I mean, it's just possible for price to create like another resistance and then continue down to retest the low. How can I send a chart? Well, that's something you have to watch. Well, there's a video in the description, man. You watch that video and you're gonna know how to do it. It's about this guy don't have a way of trading. Don't ask him any wisely question. He is on drugs. I can hear his voice already in the way he is talking. Oh, looks like we're in drugs right now. Was watching Asian sessions. Asian session started was clean climb from 1900 to 1910. Yeah, I guess not many people expected gold to continue on towards 1940, but like based on price action, based on the weekly candle that we were looking at, there was still some. Wow, we have crossed that level. We have broken the high over here, man. Last time this high was made at like 1920 was September 2011, and we have broken that high. Man, oh man, gold is continuing up, man. Not today. Not today. Wow, it's crazy. What would you do if you were in a gold buy? If I was in a gold buy, what I would do is I would trail my stop. I mean, it depends, right? If my buy was from somewhere like 1920, 27, I'd trail my stop under 1932, under this 1-hour candle. You need to get HFX on your live stream. His analysis is fire. Oh, he's already in the live streams. What do you think about this? Let's take a look here. This is GU 30-minute, waiting for the support to be formed for price to continue up. Okay, looks interesting. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at GU. So GU on the 1 hour time frame created a high. You know, this high was created. I think this was. Oh yeah, this was Asian session. You know, at Asian session we created the high, price came down and broke it, and now it's continuing to go up. So yeah, I think having a support formed, having it like a dip, like a support formed, would be much better to retest the high. So yeah, that's good. Do you recommend funding talent? If anyone's trying to pay for a funding account, I would say make sure you're profitable first, you know. I mean, if you're not profitable from the get-go and spending money on a funding account doesn't make any sense. So make sure you're profitable and then go towards a funding account. First time sending a chart, I'm pretty sure I did this right. Pretty sure you didn't do it right because we didn't get a chart. I am bullish on GJ. My bias on GJ is range. It's just no trade here at all on GJ. I don't see any trade. If we do break above, you know, 135.500 right here, if we do break above this area, then maybe you got a resistance forming at 135, you know, like 670, 680. And if we measure this range, this is a 15, 18 pip range, so it's not enough, you know. I mean, this was like 40 pips, 30 pips, then I would say, you know, it's enough. So this is just bad. So probably I'm going to put this, label this day as a Monday Madness. I mean, it's just garbage. Like the pair I trade is just garbage. So now here's the thing, right? If you trade, let's say GPJPY, and if you don't see a setup, or if you see something very dirty, not clean, and if you want to move to another pair, I think that's going to be, I don't know. I'm not going to do that, because in the past I used to do that, you know, and I used to get burned because now I'm breaking the plan and trying to trade another pair. So I'm probably going to be patient. I'm probably going to wait to see if I really like something. Otherwise, I'm just going to, you know, relax on money. Let's see here. Buying idea for GJ. What do you think? All right. Let's take a look here. I think a lot of people are looking for buys on GJ. So we're going to take a look. Okay, what's this? If this high gets broken after filling the imbalance wick, okay, after filling the imbalance wick, once imbalance wick filled, waiting for price to break the high, target over here. 1.8 risk reward. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense for it to go up. I mean, if it does break, it can go up. The only problem I have is like there's not enough range here for me to trade this, right? If I measure this range, because if price moves from 135, let's say 500, all the way towards 135, 670, it's not enough range. I'd want like maybe, see, this is 17 pip range. I'd want like, you know, 25 to 30 pips. So it's really important to choose your battles too. I'm also waiting for the break of 135.500. If you are looking on the 4-hour chart, we failed to break the bullish uptrend to the downside. So I'm still bullish on GJ. Yep, my bias is still bullish on GJ. 100%. I'm still bullish on GJ. I mean, just look at the weekly, right? Weekly is above that area, so it's still very, very bullish. And you're right, 4-hour has also rejected that area. I think this is something on the 4-hour that's been forming, what was forming on Wednesday too. You know, where the 4-hour candle just dipped down, didn't really go up, and then we look at the smaller time frames, and small time frames were trying to push up. So in this case, we're pushing up above 135.500. You know, and if the 4-hour is rejecting that area, I think we should be continuing to move bullish. But I'm just not confident to take this in a small range. Alright, let's take a look here. This is price broke out of the range to go down. Pre-London volume push price down. Resistance formed. Entered buys after 15-minute candle close. Nice. It's pretty good. Pretty good. So basically you bought and there were clean candles here to the left and you got it. It's pretty good. What will you do, Raja? Cash my 10 pips in London session? You trade NY and reduce risk, or sit and watch the live stream? If I traded in the London session, and if I met my target in London session, then in the New York session, I'm just gonna chill. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill, and I'm just gonna keep my 10 pips safe. That's what I'm gonna do. Because it doesn't make any sense, you know, like if in the London session you want to trade, and if you, let's say, take a trade in New York session, and if you lose that trade, man, you're gonna feel really, really bad about it. You know, so you got to think of it that way. Do you want to risk a small chance to feel really, really bad, or do you want to win a trade? That's something you have to see. Expecting price to create a new higher high on daily. What's this? GPUSD. I think it can continue moving up here. I think if you can, once the daily candle closes and you can trail your stop, I think you could have a really nice trade running here. You say you trade 10 pips, but look for 30 pip ranges. Is that because there's more impulse with 30 pip ranges? Yes. You know, if you have a bigger range, then you have a high probability to get, like, you know, a portion of those pips. Like, let's say if you have a 40 pip range, right? If you have a 40 pip range, then you have a higher chance of securing 20 pips, 25 pips. But if your range is 20 pips, there's not enough range, basically. I mean, I don't know how much more to explain it. There's not enough range. There's some issues in this zone. Should I consider this zone or just ignore it? I think you should ignore it since we're respecting this support. If price closes below the zone, expect price to go bearish to 135. Yes, that's true. If price closes above the zone, expect price to go bullish. Yes, that's true. I think there's a fine line between wanting price to move and expecting price to move, right? There's a fine line between that. Now, let's say that this range, this is not a big range, right? This is like a 18, 20 pip range. Now, I'm anticipating price, like once price goes above, 135, 500, I'm anticipating price to go up towards, 135, 670. I'm anticipating it. But when you're anticipating price move, it's not necessary that you're trying to trade on that as well. Because I mean, if I'm anticipating price to go up here, that doesn't mean I'm trying to take a trade on it. I know it's going to go there if it meets the condition of closing above 135, 500, but it doesn't really mean I'm going to take a trade on that all the time. When do you think it's the best place to make an entry? Well, if everyone knew that answer, then trading would be really, really easy. The best place to make an entry. What's the best place, man? Let's take a look here. EuroCAD, new to trading. Should I buy now or wait for pullback into support? First of all, I don't think your analysis is correct. Your analysis is, I think you need to do some more learning over here on high time frame support resistances and stuff like that. You need some more, because this zone makes no sense. I don't know where this is from, so yeah, you need some learning. Good morning, Raja. If the range is small but the price is rejecting a major support resistance level, can we anticipate it to break the minor SR and continue to next level? What do you think? Yeah, you can do that. That can work. Like if you're saying price is rejecting a strong support, then it should continue up, and then with that continuation, it should break this resistance and then continue on towards 135, 820. That can still happen too. Alright, let's take a look at this chart. This is support acting as resistance. USD CAD 30 minute. Someone's taking a sell over here. Possibility for price to heading down. Yeah, looks good. I think you may be onto something here. Let's take a look at USD CAD here. Oh yeah, looks good to go down. Because if you look on the 4-hour, the 4-hour candle broke the low of the previous 4-hour candle after creating this minor resistance right over here, and we're going to see it matches up with the 1-hour time frame right here. So if you go to the 1 hour, it matches there. 1 hour candle is also bearish. It's closing below this previous support it had. Looking at the 30-minute chart, 30-minute is also bearish. I mean, now if the 30-minute candle closes bullish, right, in 6 minutes, you would want the next 30-minute candle to break the low and then continue moving down. I think it's going to be pretty good. If price rejects this resistance and close bearish, do you think it's a good signal to take a sell? No, because it's ranging. I mean, you can take a sell if you want, but I wouldn't take a sell because it's in a range. Even though this is a 27, 30 pip range, I would not take a sell in this range. If you want to take a sell, for sure, but I'm just gonna not do that. What would you do if you have a nice setup, but the stop loss is too wide? I'm gonna reduce my stop loss. That's what I'm gonna do. Always, whenever you know that your stop is going to be too big, just reduce your lot size. Actually, just reduce the lot size. Okay, what's this here? Wait for price to break resistance and retest the support, or break small bearish candle upper the support. Yeah, I think you're waiting for price to break resistance or reject the support to go down. I think you can put the YouTube chat about the Zoom chat. No, but I like to keep it this way. What's this? Do you always enter only when a confirmation candle closes? Yes. So if this candle's still open, you're basically waiting for this candle to close. If this candle closes bullish, especially when it closes above 135,500, then you have a very high probability for price to continue moving up towards 135, 650, and essentially towards 135,800. Hey, my goal is 25 pips a day. Very nice, very nice. What do you think is a big goal, or should I increase my lot size to have 10, 12 pips goal? That's all up to you. That's all up to you, what your goal is, what your range is. I mean, if you're looking for a trade here, and if the range is only like 18 pips, then it's very difficult to get 25 pips, right? So you have to adjust. The market is very, very subjective, right? There's going to be a lot of variables. Like, you can't put like a certain number on certain things. So I guess that's what you're going to learn with time. That's very subjective. You have a perfect strategy like TP, 10 to 12 pips, you close trade and a small loss. Then why you don't trade any other pair? Why you not trade 5 to 6 trade per day? Because when you move after the third trade, you start moving into over trading. This is why people fail, man. Like, if you only take 1 or 2 trades, that's going to be enough. But if you move into third, the fourth, the fifth trade, now you're over trading, and now your chances of losing trades is extremely high. And you're going to be a loser, man. You're just going to be a loser. If you just over trade, you're going to be a loser at the end of the day. You're not going to make it. Never going to make it. I know a lot of people who over trade and they're not making it. They're just stuck. They're stuck. Then all the things that people say, oh yeah, Forex is a scam, it doesn't work, then you're going to believe that because you can't control yourself. And it's all up to you. But you often face a situation where candle closes, it seems a little too far for entry. Yeah, that happens too. Hey Edric, I would appreciate it if you send the message publicly because everyone can still see the message. When you say wait for break and retest, does that mean after the candle break out or wait for support? No, I think waiting for candle to break above 135,500. At the end of the day, you just have to take the risk, right? You just have to take the risk. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then there's an opportunity like for you to learn from it. So I think at this stage, what you're doing is you're just overthinking, Edric. You're really overthinking a lot of stuff. Me, if I was looking for this trade, I'm just waiting for 2 minutes to end so I can see where this candle's going to close and then make a decision. That's it. Did you take any trade in agent session? Yes. add buys in Asian session. Looks like gold's going to continue moving bullish here. This candle's closing bullish, 30-minute candle. Let's see what happens. How do you normally how do you close your position? 10 pips, 80% position? Yeah, it depends. You know, if I think price is going to continue moving up, then I close 80%. And if I think that maybe I should close the whole thing, I close the whole thing. But definitely at 10 to 12 pips, I'm 100% securing things. This is better. This is better was too low of a time frame to find an entry. All right, let's take a look at this chart. This is Euro CAD. Should I buy now or? Yeah, I think you can make your zone a little bit thinner over here. Maybe make it a little bit more streamlined like this, and then expect like a price to come down and then go up. I think that's going to be much better. Yep, gold is continuing bullish. How far do we have till 2000? Oh, we have a long way. So we got almost $50 to go to for 2000. Would you break down your Asian entry? Yeah, it was somewhere over here. Yeah, it was right here. It was this 30-minute candle right here. So I entered somewhere over here, and then I exited around 135, 720, 730. So from this candle went up. So this was my trade candle. Went up, closed position, had a runner, price came down, stopped me out at break even, and then 1 hour candle continued moving up. So 30-minute candle has closed bullish. It has closed above the previous candles, so now I think it should continue moving bullish. As long as it respects this low here, it should continue moving up. They already predicted gold to hit 2000. Oh, yeah, man. Gold's gonna hit 2000, 100%. Now can we buy? That's all up to you. That's up to you. I'm not taking any trade. I'm not taking any buys or any sells. I'm just not doing it as well. I have one swing trade running on GJ, and that's about it. That's a buy I have running based on the weekly candle to continue moving up. It's a 2-lot position, very small, risking about $2,000. Silver has broken resistance. All right, beautiful. Hey, how's your weekend? Great weekend. Took this trade on cable, done for today. 2 trades, 20 pips. Nice. 1 trade still running, but wanted tips for better analysis. All right, let's take a look here. So listen, if someone's taken a loss, and now if you're moving into your 3rd trade and the 4th trade on Monday, I would say, man, just relax, man. You have Tuesday and Wednesday. What's this over here? Price rejected here. Looking for an entry, a 30-minute candle. But you got an entry right here, right? Usually Monday, maybe Tuesday is a pullback for a week. Yeah, so you had a winning trade here, I guess. It's beautiful. For this swing trade I have running, like for this week, my entry is around 135, 433. So it's around 433 somewhere. Let's put it right there. Yes, right over here. Stop is below the previous weekly candle, and TP is at the weekly wick fill right here. So this is the trade I have running right now. This is the swing trade I'm attempting. After 4 months, I'm attempting another swing trade. Sometimes I attempt swing trades, and like I think in the past 5 months, I've attempted like 4 swing trades, and yeah, most have most have been losing trades, you know. So every now and then I do try swing trades. So this is going to be an attempt on the swing trade for this week to see if we do head off towards 136. But looking at it from a smaller time frame perspective, this is just ranging, you know. Hey, could you explain what a swing trade usually is? Swing trade is a trade that lasts for a couple days, you know, a couple days. You know, some people say it lasts for a couple of weeks, but I'm not trying to hold it for a couple of weeks. That's more of an intraday trade. Oh, okay, perfect. Any thoughts about soybean futures since we are at the end of the month, Roger? Soybean, I mean, I don't know. You have to see how big of a supply is there for soya, you know, and soybeans. Now people are kind of saying that's an horrible entry. That's okay, guys. Like, I know what I'm risking. I'm risking $2,000 in that trade. I'm totally fine. If I lose 2,000 on this swing trade, I'm going to be totally okay. It's not going to affect me at all. Trust me. I'm totally fine with it. So even if it's a bad entry, good entry, I'm risking 2,000 to make 2,000. Just relax. It's it's all good, man. um, yeah, I still think GJ should continue moving up over here from 135, 500 to 135. You know, like 660, 670. What do you think about US dollar index this week or turn around getting lower? See now, here's the thing about US dollar this week, right? Let's take a look at Forex Factory here for a little bit. And the thing about US dollar is that we have a lot of earnings that come in on this week, you know, Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to affect the US dollar a lot. It's going to affect the stock market a lot. We have FOMC also on Wednesday. You know, most probably they're going to keep the rates the same. You know, but still there's a lot of volatility here because of FOMC. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's take a look at this Euro JPY chart. Euro JPY candle closed bearish, taking a sell, stops above the 30-minute candle. TP1 is over here, which is about 12, 13 pips away. Okay, could work. Could work out. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the 1 hour candle. Previous 1 hour candle is bullish. So I'd be a little cautious here. 30-minute candle is bearish, giving confirmations for price to continue down towards, you know, 123 to 90. Looking at the 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle is also bearish. Looks good. I think you should be cautious if this 15-minute candle breaks its own high over here. I think that's when you should be cautious. You're swinging. I have been resisting to swing for many months now, thinking to open a separate swing account. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I just see this as a good opportunity, you know, because if you look at the weekly candles here, all these weekly candles, they were respecting 135, like right here, right here, right here, this one here as well, this one, this one. Then this behemoth of a candle, this broke above this resistance, right? This broke above this resistance, and if this weekly candle is doing like a retest here, I think it has a higher probability to continue moving up for the rest of the week. You know, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we're gonna wait and see what happens. But I do think, based on the weekly candle, based on what we just talked about, how candles didn't close above 135. I mean, this should continue moving bullish. I mean, we're in 135, 540 now, which is pretty good. It's moving up, just like we expected. So yeah, you know, it should continue moving up here. 135, 660, and then all the way to 135, 800. I agree with the idea, except the target should be the monthly wick fill. Yes. This is, oh yeah, 139, yeah. I'll see if I can hold a small position till 139. If I do, I think that's going to be the biggest trade of my career, you know, in terms of pips. Is there anything I may have missed? All right, let's take a look at this chart. Oh, this does not exist. Alexei, the gold experience sent the wrong chart. How do you feel about Heikin-Ashi candles? I don't feel anything about Heikin-Ashi candles. Please ask Mac about the coffee shipment. What and what's going on? Ooh, a lot of people are in buys here in GJ. Yeah, it should continue moving up here now. The 30-minute candle is broken out of the previous 30-minute candle. This warrants a continuation towards 135,660. There's a very high probability we're going to come up over here. There's a low probability we're going to break back below 135, you know, 500. Do you catalog your winning setups and moves and review them often to commit them to me? Yep, I do that every day. Every day once I'm done with the streams, I look at my performance, I look at the trades I've taken, and I just look at them. I look at that and I'm like, man, wow, this is amazing. I did this and I can do it again tomorrow, day after tomorrow, so on and so forth. So it's really important to go over your performance all the time. And now if you look on your JPY, the 15-minute candle pushed up bullish over here. So I think here maybe you need to reanalyze for sells, because the only problem is the 1 hour candle is bullish, you know, but it's bullish. It's still closing below this area over here. It's kind of like resistance area, but it's still bullish, you know. It can continue moving up, so you gotta maintain risk at this point. You know, if you look on 30-minute also is trying to head up here. Where are you from? I am from Canada. I would like to, what's this? Hey, I would like to buy, but I'm scared of a possible wick fill on the 4 hour candle. What do you think about it? I think if you want to take a buy, and if you're scared to take a buy, then maybe you should just sit back and watch it, you know? You should sit back and watch it. Now, when you decide not to take a trade, you're basically accepting the fact that if you're not taking the trade, you're accepting the fact that price will continue on towards 135,660, right? You're accepting that fact. At the same time, you're also accepting that, okay, if I don't take a trade, price may start to come down. You know, so if price does move to where you want it to move, I think you shouldn't fall into FOMO, but you should look at that and say that, okay, you know what? I expected this to happen, and it happened. And this is going to happen again. And when this happens again, then I'm going to be ready to take that trade. You know, so that's the thing about trading, and that's what sucks about trading. Because once you see a move is going to happen, and a move does actually happen and you didn't execute, then you feel like, you know, you missed out on something, you feel FOMO, you feel bad about it. But I think the best way to build confidence, like let's say, you know, price does go towards 135,660, you know, and you're scared to take an entry. Maybe your lot size is too big, or I think the best thing would be to do is to maybe open a small position, you know, like a 0.01 position or 0.1 position, whatever you think is small. And when you take a small position, you're still committing to greatness, because now you've opened a position, and if price goes to your target, I think then your confidence is going to be up a little bit, right? Then you're going to think, you know what, I executed a position, no matter how big that position was, you executed, right? And price reached target. And then you can look for the same thing tomorrow and day after tomorrow and day after tomorrow, and slowly your confidence becomes to get bigger and bigger. You know, so that's what we're going to get to, bigger confidence. Price is moving above the minor resistance now. Should I consider this zone, or maybe, yeah, you're just overthinking, man. You're overthinking. 100%. You're overthinking. I mean, if you have doubts to take a trade, just don't take the trade. You know, there shouldn't be any doubt. I mean, if you like, when you draw zones within zones, this tells me you're not confident. And when you're not confident enough, you just gotta sit back and watch the trade. you know. And as what I said, if you're scared to take a trade, open a small position, you know, so that you can build your confidence. And as we can see, GJ is doing exactly what we expected it to do. It's continuing bullish, which is pretty good, pretty good. Is it safe to move stop loss below the current 30-minute candle on GJ? Yes, absolutely. I think that's a pretty good idea. Oh, people are sending me friend requests on Facebook. I don't even use Facebook anymore. Wow, what a move. Roger scamming once again. Yep. Scam every day, man. Scam every day with profitable moves here. Yeah, GJ is gravy train. I mean, this morning when I woke up and I saw this move down, I was like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. It has to go up. What is your TP? Well, my TP would be, you know, like 135, 660 over here. But like, you know, if you're up around 10 pips, 12 pips, that's it. Secure positions and leave a runner running. That's all what you got to do. Did you take that trade? I was already in the trade based on the weekly. I had 2 positions opened. I closed one, and the rest is just open with the normal risk reward. Raja is a scammer. Roger is a pro trader. Yes. UCJPY 30-minute support formed. Perfect. This was a perfect entry. I guess your JPY is also gonna start moving up over here. When would you move your stop to BE on the swing trade? I wouldn't. I'll just leave it open. It's either take profit or it's either stop loss. Because I would want price to, okay, let's take a look on the 4-hour over here, right? Basically, on the weekly, I'm expecting price to come up towards 136,650, right? 136,600, let's say. 136,600. 136,600 is around 100 pips away where price is right now. So looking on the daily, then looking on the 4-hour, I think I would move my stops to break even once price goes above 135,800. But now on the 4-hour, what we can see is that the 4-hour broke the high of the previous 4-hour candle, right? This means now price is gonna go much higher. You know, there's a very high chance price may go up towards 135,700 here now, because the 4-hour broke the high of the previous 4-hour candle. So it's really, really good for price to come up towards, you know, even 135,800, easy. How do you close 80% of your position? Do you take multiple trades? No, basically I have this right here. I have magic keys. Magic keys can close 80% or 50% position. Magic keys. How do you handle emotion when you're in swing and the position go to loss from profit? Because I know how much I'm going, like, you should be okay with your loss. You should be okay with how much you're willing to lose. That's how you're going to be okay with emotions when trading. You know, like on the swing trade, I'm willing to lose 2,000. That's, I've already registered in my mind. It's already in my mind that if I lose, I'm losing 2,000, and I have to ask this myself, am I okay with that? And I tell myself I'm okay with that. You know, so the idea is to know how much max. Yeah, that's what it is. Edric, I think all these questions you need to go watch the risk management section, like 2.0 and 3.0. Did you invent magic keys yourself? No, it was a partnership. Did a partnership with a very smart person. Do you consider the pair sentiment from different sources from MyFX book, IGFX read? No, I don't. I don't look at any sentiments at all. I mean, if we look at the Chinese indicator over here, The Chinese indicator is saying pound is strong. Okay, yeah. So and USD is weak, which means gold should continue moving up. Oh, which is gold moving down. And yeah, GJ moved up. Looks like your JPY also moved up based on the 1 hour there. So people in the gulag, if you caught these buys on GJ, just give a like on the stream, man. It helps a lot of people. You give that like, man, because we come here every morning. We do the same thing. We're about this money every morning. We come on. Even some days you don't take a trade, but you still get good analysis. You get great analysis, and like sometimes you do get the guts to execute, and when you execute on those guts, man, you get winning trades. Why did you say when you saw the price this morning it didn't make any sense? Because it was ranging. Once we started to come out of the range, then it started to make sense. Can you show how you made your trade on Asian session? Yeah, I took a buy right over here to go for price to continue going up. What the hell is a gulag? I hear it every day, but have no clue. Man, gulag is when you play Call of Duty. When you play Call of Duty and you suck, you die, right? And when you die, you get sent in the gulag. Gulag is like, oh, you own Call of Duty. Well, then you gotta buy the new one, man. You're way far behind. You gotta buy the new one. Gotta spend those dollars. Gotta spend those dollars and get the new one, man. Gotta spend that money. PS4, Xbox, computer, anyone. I'm talking about Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. That's the gulag. Ooh, someone made $82 from these buys. Perfect. Amazing. Best Forex trading channel, period. No one else provides the value for free. They all trying to suck your dollars. Yeah. We had a person here the other day, and he messaged me saying, he's like, man, listen, I've been watching your live streams for about a month now, and for the first week, I would always wait to see when you would try to upsell something. I would always wait to hear like a sales pitch or something like that. And that's never happening here, man. That's never happening here. That's never happening here. This whole community was started because, I wanted to see something different. I wanted someone who's looking for resources to be helped. That's why we started this. And like I think Forex is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. It's a team sport. It should start off as a team sport, because when it starts off as a team sport, you get more confident. You get better at analyzing stuff. It's overall a really good experience for a new trader. Had this whole move drawn out from London session, but when the time came to execute, I missed it. Annoyed, but at least I was right. Yeah, that's true. At least you were right. I thought my lot size was 0.1, so I tried to close 80%, but it was 0.6. Oh, my original order, and I clicked it 3 times. Oh, wow. Still pretty good. Do you know Ahmed Abdullah? No. I'm thinking about starting an OnlyFans page for my dog if anyone wants to sign up. Okay? Make sure your dog is wearing some clothes on. If anything, he does the opposite of sell people ask how to do this course. Yeah. When people ask me about my course on YouTube, I just say, hey, if you find it, you find it. If you can't find it, then you can't find it. Why would pound move gold? Pound does not move gold. Why would pound move gold? Raja, got a lot of respect for what you do. You've made me more confident in my trading. I think your confidence is going to come from taking smaller positions. Because when you're going to take smaller positions, you're going to get more confident in those positions, and slowly those small ones are going to get bigger and bigger. Let's take a look at this chart here. Impulse entry, when the candle broke the high, I wasn't to enter a buy at first. Closed bullish, 90% profit, closed at break even. You know what I've seen? I've seen a lot of people taking impulse entries and then getting slapped around after those impulse entries. So what I would say, aim for taking a market execution, like not an impulse entry, but take like a regular entry with a small position. Get your confidence up that way, right? Get your confidence up in taking a position which is not an impulse entry. Because then what's going to happen is, like, let's say if you're taking a buy over here and your stop is down over here, you know, and if you think price is still going to go up, I mean, what's the difference if you take a buy over here and have the same stop loss? Now your stop loss is smaller, but your take profit from this buy is much bigger, and your take profit from this buy is a little bit smaller. So slowly you have to transition yourself from taking impulse entries to more confident entries. That's the whole goal. So there's a little bit of transitioning that you need to do, which is obviously going to take time. Like as you execute and analyze and gain more confidence over time, you're going to get much better and better. The market makers are sending me messages over here. Oh, market maker saying, hey bro, what's going on there? Why are you doing these live streams for everybody? It's a safe haven asset when other economies are declining. People hop on gold, hence prices currently ranging. Yeah, I think, you know what? I was talking to somebody and we were talking about why gold prices are heading up, and there were like a lot of different opinions on this. One strong opinion I got was that it was just wild opinion that they keep talking about how the vaccine is being built, is being made, but it's actually not being made. So there's a lot of uncertainty around it, because of all the testings they're having, that of all the side effects they're having. So that's kind of making things move. There was also another rumor about like Trump may not get reelected, so that's why gold is moving up. But like apart from all the fundamentals, I don't really focus on a lot of fundamentals. I'm a strictly technical analysis person. Based on technical analysis, this was just bullish. I mean, price, there was no confirmation for sells. Not on the 30-minute time frame, not on the 1-hour time frame. I mean, the last 1-hour candle. Okay, let's take a look at this, right? From the 26th, from 1898, we had bullish candles on the 1-hour throughout, 367 pips. We had one bearish candle on the 1-hour, which wasn't a selling confirmation because it was respecting the low over here, and then more buys after that. Also, there's a lot of inflation happening too, because the government is just printing money. They're printing money, and once they're printing money, what happens? Inflation goes up. There's a lot of money in circulation. The value of a dollar goes down. When the value of a dollar goes down, the price of goods goes up. And I think it's going to be unreal. Canada is extending the CERB till the end of the year. For people who don't know what CERB is in Canada, that's the government giving people $2,000 a month. That's what it is. $2,000 a month. Can you imagine? You started CERB in April. April, you got $2,000 for free. March, you got $2,000 for free. March, April, May, June, July, August. $2,000. I know people who've gotten $12,000 so far from CERB, man. It's crazy. And the way it's important is because the more money government is printing, the more money there's going to be in circulation. That's going to increase prices, man. Like, it's really going to increase prices. I buy milk a lot because I have a 2-year-old. I've seen milk price go from $5.17 to $5.48. Yeah. Do you have to pay $2,000 back? No. I mean, it depends. Because here's what's going to happen next year. Next year, when the tax season comes in, what the tax agency is going to do, they will grab a big microscope, right? They'll grab a big microscope, and then they'll start looking at everybody who took this money. Everybody. And then they're going to see that, okay, who deserved to take this money and who didn't deserve to take this money. If you did not deserve that money, they will want it back. And when they want it back, they're going to get it one way or the other. Started trading 2 weeks ago with the $5,000 account, now sitting almost $45,000 in profit in just 2 weeks with proper risk management. Do you think I'm ready to live trading? I don't think you're ready to live trading. I mean, if you started 2 weeks ago with a $5,000 demo account and that account is now sitting at $45,000, I don't think you're ready for live trading. I don't think so. I'll tell you the reason. The reason why is because $45,000 real money is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, 45,000, man. Even now, when I get a $10,000 withdrawal, and if that 10,000 hits my account, I'm like, wow, that still shakes me up. I'm like, holy, 10,000, man, that's crazy, you know. So I think the better thing to do would be to open a live account and trade on that for 2 weeks, and let's see how far that goes, you know, and then deposit more money. Um, Biden ain't gonna move economy. Man, Joe Biden can't even move himself. I don't know how he's gonna move the economy. You pay taxes on it no matter what. It's typically a percentage. Yes. So the $2,000 everyone is getting in the Canada and the US. US is like $1,200. You will be taxed on that. That's taxable income. I know people who were on welfare and their welfare checks got canceled because they applied for CERB. You know, they applied for CERB, their welfare checks got canceled because the government says, well, now you're making more money. You know, and those people are mad. They're like, yo, man, welfare. Does everyone get that money in Canada? Yes, everybody. It's man, it's so simple. So basically, what you do is you pick up your phone, right? You pick up your phone. There's a number. You dial that number, right? You dial that number. You go on the phone. It asks you for your social insurance number. You put that in, and then it asks you 2 times if you are sure you're eligible for this money, and you say yes, and then that's it. In 2 days, you get the money in your bank account. That's it. No forms, nothing. That's that's how easy it is. Are you over 15? Yeah, yeah, that's it. Okay, 2,000. They literally on the phone they tell you, okay, perfect. $2,000 will be deposited in your bank account in 2 business days. That's it. That's There's no complication. Man, people have been spending that money like crazy. You know? People with no financial knowledge, they've been spending that money like crazy. Um, did you get it? Did I get it? Yeah, I got it. I got it for the first 3 months. And the reason I got it was, I'll tell you the reason why I got it. So I have a corporation, right? Market Fluidity is a corporation. I work for Market Fluidity. So basically, Market Fluidity so the company had a boot camps planned for this whole year, right? From March till December, every month there was a boot camp planned. And when this C word came in, all the boot camps were canceled because we couldn't fly. The boot camps were canceled, so the income of Raja Banks, it got to zero. You know, so then Raja Banks told the company that, hey man, like, you know, now I can't work. So the company told Raja Banks, well, here's a letter. You can use this letter to get this CERB. And that's what happened. Then I called them. I'm like, hey, listen, man, I'm unemployed. Because that's why it's really important to have a corporation. You know, like when I think when you're making decent income from like, you know, like if you're self-employed, you're making an income, I think it's really important to get a corporation. You get a lot of benefits. Corporation. I work for my everyone dislike. No, man, that's why the rich stay rich, you know, because like we use leverage. That's leverage, you know. I know a lot of people that are hesitating to open a corporation. I think it's a really good idea to open a corporation. It's an amazing idea to open a corporation. I think you're playing yourself if you're just a sole proprietor and you're not opening a corporation. I know somebody living on welfare spending that free money in the strip club. Yeah, man, I know a lot of people are spending money like that. They're crazy. But the thing is, that money I got, it's sitting in a bank account. You know, it's sitting in a bank account. I haven't touched it. I haven't done anything to it. In case they want it back, I'll be like, okay, here you go, take it. Yeah, you know, so that these are just financial secrets that you need to know, man. I think everybody needs to know these things. I mean, you open a corporation, man, your life becomes so easy. You know, taxes become less. I mean, you can do a lot of things with your corporation. On your recently IG talking about parking money at Singapore, I don't advise. Singapore is super strict on all the money flow. Yeah, that's why I'm very cautious. How much leverage do you use? I use 1 to 500 leverage. Hey, Raja, the pullback on the hour. Could this be a second area? Second area of entry. Let's take a look here. I don't think so. Not yet. Not yet. Because the 30-minute candle is like kind of like retracing here. So I don't know. Maybe it's going to create a support here to go up at this stage. I'm not sure. Probably not. Because even if you do have a second entry, let's say you get an impulse entry on GJ right here, right? Your stop is going to be below the previous 30-minute candle, which is like 7 pips, and then you're anticipating price to go up towards, like 10, 12 pips up. So that's kind of like what you're risking there, 6, 7 pips. You trade also in the name of the corporation. Yes, so all the money, it gets deposited in my corporate account, my business account. It gets over there. And from there, the corporation pays me. Then I get a paycheck from there. Oh, Kevon's in the building.
Or
Oh,
if you want a second entry on that position right there, instead of taking an impulse entry, wait for support to form, like on a 15 minutes. So wait for a bullish candle to go back in that direction on the 15 minutes, and then when it breaks the high of the bullish candle, you could go ahead and take buys.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be a very, very safe play.
Yeah.
Like wait for price to kind of like create support. Plus also it's Monday, you got to be very, very careful on Monday. You got to be careful not to walk into that over trading zone, you know. Let's say that this is the garden. This is the garden you have. This is your safe play right here. This is the other safe play right here. After that, you have issues all the way over here, And if you take a third trade, now you're taking the third trade in all these issues, and then your chances of losing trade becomes higher. And then you take a fourth trade, and then your chances of losing trade become more higher. So that's why it's really important to stick to 1 or 2 trades and then call it a day. Because when people talk about, hey, like you need to build discipline, that's how discipline is built. When you're focusing on just a few trades a day, that's it. There's no magic to trading. You just have to wait. Trading, you get paid to wait. That's what I tell people. In trading, you'll get paid to wait. Waiting for trades, waiting for TP to hit, waiting for like in the setup to show up, waiting for the next day, you know. Hey, couple of questions. Do you do this every day? Yes. What time do you begin? It's in the description. Which time zone are you in? It's in the description. Oh man, it's crazy. Craziness out here. People come to the live streams, they don't even read the description. Everything is in the description. If price breaks low, buys become invalid. Yes, that's very important. It's very important when you're taking a buy, you need to understand what will make the trade invalid, right? When price breaks the low right over here, when this candle breaks the low of the 30-minute candle here, then the buys are invalid. It's like when you go to a bar and you start talking to a girl and then you're like, okay, she's interested in me right now. What will make her not being interested in me right now? Whether her friend shows up and cock blocks you, or something happens, or she walks away and she tells you no, then okay, it's a no-go. We gotta move on to the next one and next one. So trading is just like that. If you think or like a guy, whether you're approaching a guy or a girl or whatever, if this candle breaks the low over here, then the buying idea is invalid. What's your opinion about crypto? I have no opinion about crypto. I don't know crypto. I don't care about crypto. I focus on GJ. As long as Forex exists, I think GJ will work. Let's take a look at this chart here. Making higher highs and lows and respecting the trend line as support. Okay, trying to go up here. I think let's take a look at GU here now. And the 30-minute candle in GU closed with no wick on the top, like a tiny wick on the top, Looking at the 15 minute also reversing 1 hour candles is kind of like this. So I mean, taking a buy on GU at this point, I think I don't know. I wouldn't want to take a buy because it has already moved up so much, and the further away price pushes up from a support, the higher chances are that it will kind of like do like a retracement. So I'm probably gonna wait over there. You don't trade this, but the concept is the same. Thoughts? Okay, let's see here. Oil. Friday close established support, looking for buyers on 15-minute higher low. Waiting for support to form on 15-minute candle right over here. Okay, makes sense. Based on just price action, Pete, makes sense here. If 15-minute closes bullish, then you're expecting this resistance to be broken and waiting for price to come up over here. And after this, maybe move on towards your red line right here. 15-minute target, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, maybe the stop is too big. Maybe you have a stop like somewhere below this consolidation area here. Ooh, GJ broke that low. Damn, crazy. Man, whoever secured profits up over here, clap for yourself. You know? And whoever were holding positions with open stop loss, man, you just ate a stop loss on Monday. Yeah. Oh, someone made 10% on a Monday. Perfect. Is this considered a fake out? Yes. Now GJ is back in the confusing zone. This is a confusing area on GJ, where price is just in this area out here. I'm having a challenge with entering a trade with the stop loss on. The message I get is that my stop loss is invalid. What could be the reason? I think the stop loss is too small, I think. Should you register a corporation after you're profitable as a trader, or could you do it now? You can do it anytime you want. You can register a corporation at any time you want.
I don't know what country you live. Sorry, Roger, to cut you off. But it's better to register it now because you could write it off on your taxes. I believe in the US it's like 7 years before they consider it as a hobby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, so for 7 years you can just trade and make money as a hobby?
Well, no, your losses.
Oh, okay.
Your losses. Yeah, so if you take losses, you could write that off. So that reduce your overall liability for taxes.
Yes. You can write your losses off too. You can write your losses off, you can write off commissions.
Yeah.
How do you register as a corporation? Bryant, I think you're too young for that right now, or maybe you don't have, or you don't know what a corporation does. So I think you need to Google that or talk to an accountant or just no idea. You just have to Google that information. You can use future profits to write off losses. Actually, in 2017, I wrote off all my losses. The losses I had in trading, okay, yeah, in Canada, I put those losses against my gains, and let's say if my income was, let's say, like 150,000 and my losses collectively were like 50,000, I put those losses against my gains. So then I had to pay tax on 100,000 and then I had to look for more expenses, and then that cuts down on, yeah, so it's all, you gotta talk to your accountant. Do you prefer living in Switzerland or Canada? Well, I haven't lived in Switzerland yet, so I can't talk about that. But so far I'm in Canada, so that's good. Buy GJ 15 pip stop loss, 50 pip TP. I don't know if that's a good idea. What's the advantage of corporation in contrast to business? Because I was going to register as business. Corporation is much more, let's put it this way. Corporation is like that kid in school who everybody likes. A business is like that kid in class who everybody likes.
Corporation has limited liability, so if you get sued, you don't lose anything personally. A business, if you get sued, you lose everything.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
That's why you go to university and stay in school, because they teach you this stuff.
So if I get sued, I can just say, well, okay, here's the corporation, deal with this.
Yep,
I'm out
exactly.
of here. So if someone from the gulag comes after me, just know
Yep.
you're not dealing with me.
You know, you're only a director in that corporation. The owner of the corporation is the owner of the corporation, and they don't get sick. You can't lose anything.
Yeah, man, I'm just an employee over here.
A school does teach you business. It's called business class, business 101. They teach you the 3 types of corporations: sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. So if you look it up on Business 101, those are the first 3 types of organizations they teach you, and what each do, and the pros and cons of each. So,
What do you think about setting a TP lower than the zone as long as it's about the same size as stops? Let's take a look at this chart here. This chart looks good. It's pretty good. Stop loss is below the 30-minute candle. TP was over here. Looks good. LLCs in Canada? No, we don't have LLCs in Canada.
What you guys have, like TLD or something like that?
Just corporations.
Okay.
limited liability corporations, LLCs.
It's the same thing, LLCs and corps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an LLC. So if I get sued, I'm not losing anything. Might get off the radar.
I wonder why GJ dropped like that. It is what it is. It is what it is. We're expecting this area to hold, and price decided we're not going to hold it, and it just dropped. Welcome to Monday Madness. Could you check this? I'm trying to understand what the TP should be for your swing trade idea. Okay. Daily, yeah, it's based on the weekly. If you go to the weekly, it's based on the weekly. Expecting price to continue up to fill this wick, and expecting price to stay above this low here. That's it. There's no confusion, nothing at all. So it's kind of like this right here. It's at 135.430 is my entry. Stop is below the weekly candle, and TP is at the weekly wick fill right over here. That's it. This is my swing trade. I mean, if you want to, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is it. I'm thinking sells if price closes below support. What do you think? Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. You know, if price is closing below the support, and if you see like candles like creating like a resistance or continue to make like lower lows and lower highs, you can take a sell coming down towards here. But I wouldn't take the sell because this is like kind of like in a ranging area over here, and it's a Monday, and I don't want to force any trades on Mondays. So got to be very careful. Difference between LLC and C Corp is the C Corp is a taxable entity and LLC is not. LLC tax gets passed through. Oh, really? C Corp is double taxation. Yeah, in Canada we don't have LLC. Like it wouldn't say this is an LLC. I called the fake out. Oh, nice. Congratulations. What's your thoughts on this chart? Let's take a look at this chart. This is, oh man, you sent the same chart. All right. Can we take this as a fake out and buy if the support break? Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Buy when the support breaks. Come on. Yeah, I think a better thing on GU would be to either wait for price to come down over here to create a support to take a buy or not. My IQ is probably around like 50 points. Nothing higher than that. So anyone with a lower IQ, you have hope. You still have hope. Trust me. Did an impulse buy on GJ, and now I'm paying for it. Congratulations. That happens sometimes, you know. But hey, you still got 10 minutes, man. In 10 minutes, if this candle closes below 135,500, we're gonna continue down, and if it closes above 135,500, then you have a higher probability for price to continue moving up. So now, you know, you just gotta wait for this candle to close. I just want to give you a big hug. No, I'm good. We're doing social distancing. G is going to push up. The structure in 15-minute has shifted already. It's just a matter of retracement and lots of sellers exhaustion on. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. High time frame is gonna continue moving up. Just a question regarding magic keys. If I'm already in a trade executed through a phone, can I still execute additional trades using magic keys? Yes. I'm sure Forrest Gump would be a better trader than most. I think so too. I think so too, because Forrest Gump, basically he's gonna say is, my mama told me to wait for the candles to close, and I wait for candle to close, and I just execute a position. Cause you know what? Life is like a box of chocolates, and if you get the wrong chocolate, you're gonna go and draw down.
That's water boy.
Yeah. And he said, my mama told me to always wait for the candle to close and the retest to happen. Run, GJ, run! My mentor told me. Oh man, Forrest Gump. Yeah, so if you've taken a impulse buy on GJ when the candle is bearish and the candle has broken the low of the 30-minute candle, and I think that's a very bad buy. I think you should wait. If you decide to start a corporation, would it be a good idea to lease a car through that? Yes, because you can write that off as expenses. It's amazing, man. Like the benefits. What we're trying to do is we're trying to work around a problem over here. So we got to renovate our basement. It's going to cost around like 25 grand, and I'm going to build my office there. So we're trying to see if we can write that off as an expense because I'm building an office.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, perfect.
If your office, you can actually also you can part of your rent. You can have your office pay rent to your house if it's a certain size.
Yeah, it's going to be around 900 square feet.
Yeah, so I think I forget what the percentage is. My accountant does it, but the percentage of your office, that's why my office is in a big open space, because then I can claim the whole entire space.
Yeah.
And then you can write that off.
Ted, I do that as well.
Same as in the US. And it also, like for your home office, if you occupied it more than 50% or something like that.
Yeah, and also grab also your electricity, your internet.
Yeah. Your printing paper.
Printing paper, yeah. I tried to write off food, like my lunch. I write off my breakfast.
I try to write off everything.
Yeah.
Basically, like this office is going to be my office, and then the office is going to have a rest room with a bed. There's going to be a washroom because the office needs a washroom, and then there's going to be a part we're going to put a table tennis table too, as a rec room for the office. Makes sense, man. Makes sense. Gotta unload,
But ask your CPA.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have a good accountant, they'll be able to write off everything. Like I write off my breakfast in the morning, so part of my groceries get written off.
Yeah. This guy tries to write off everything.
Yeah.
It's true, man. That's how the wealthy get wealthy.
He even told me, he's like, listen, man, next time you park your car, bring those receipts as well. We're gonna try to write them off too.
Oh yeah, write off anything that you eat, like your dinners and stuff like that. You get a portion of that back too, because those are client dinners.
Yeah.
Business meeting dinners. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I always try and pay for everything.
Yeah,
I write it off anyway. That's why you got it the last time. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, the food we had on Saturday, that's a write-off.
Yeah.
Do you write off sleep? No, not that one.
When you look at your business credits, I guess that's what they're called, taxable credits. Essentially, you're either paying the government the tax, or you have spent it to cover things that you're doing related to your business. So when you think of it that way, you're paying it one way or another. It's, do you want it to go to the government, or do you want it to have some sort of utility with yourself? So you choose. Like you can either pay 20,000 to the government, or you can try and find out 20,000 in tax credits that you've used, and then offset your overall tax. So that's usually what ends up happening. So just try and figure that out. So if you're trying to build a business or something like that, really stretch what you can do. And you're not doing anything wrong. You're just using your business in a full utilitarian or a full utility idea. So, I mean, dinners, lunches, breakfast, whatever you're doing, clothes, hydro, heat, internet, cell phone, you'd be surprised what you can get tax credits for. And you're not getting the full percentage written off. Let's put it this way, like you're only getting partial percentage, right? So if you lease a car through your company, you don't get the full tax benefit. You get maybe a partial tax benefit, because no accountant is ever going to submit 100% of your claims, because right away you'll get audited. There's always a fine line, because the government obviously knows if you lease a car through your business, chances are you've used it for personal means. Unless you can prove that the car sits when your business operating hours are done, the car sits the entire time, and you can prove that with like pictures or video. Like if you had a car for a corporation that you drove to, as an example, like you're a sales guy, that car would have to literally park at your office, and you'd have to leave the car at the office, right? So it's just it's one of those things. So you won't get the full pro benefit. You'll get partial benefit for that.
How much percentage profit, percentage taxes? Like 13 to 16%. Did you trade in NY session? Yeah, I had one buys. That's about it. Had buys, and then have a bigger swing trade running till 136,600. GJ may be creating a support 30-minute versus 15-minute. The 30-minute would breach the top for sure, but stop loss would be quite large. Yeah, just gotta wait for this to see how it closes. If it closes above 135,500, I think there's a better chance of price to continue moving up. But if it closes below 135,500, then it's a Monday, and then we'll come back tomorrow. We got Tuesday, we got Wednesday, and most people lose a lot of money on Mondays and Fridays. Because Mondays, if you take a loss, you can't digest that loss, and you want to take more trades, you're going to lose more. Fridays is because, I don't know, man, Fridays you want to make losses back, and you just end up compounding losses. You start doing the opposite things, man. You should be compounding wins, but you're compounding losses. So the way to go around that is to just, focus on 1 or 2 trades a day, and that's it. Just call it a day after that. Would sells not be valid if it closes back in the range? I mean, it could be valid, but there's, just like you said, it's in a range. And my bias is heavy bullish, so I'm not looking for any sells at all. I'm looking for just buys. Hey, what do you think about alert? You are never mentioned about that because I don't use that. So you aren't seeing any trade at the moment. I still think we're going to continue moving up towards, 135, 650, and then 135, 800. But I'm not taking any more trades. I'm not taking trades. I'm probably going to take a trade by like Tuesday, Wednesday. So see, we got 1 minute left here. 30-minute candle is closing in 1 minute. We're closing above 135, 500. So that increases the chances for price to continue moving bullish. Ooh, also the 1 hour candle is about to close too. Interesting. Scared to take trades because of so many account blown. Any tips? I think get yourself a mentor, get yourself some guidance, and start with small positions. Someone is saying GJ is about to go down without any context. I think that's the wrong idea. Can you explain how you made your trade on agent session? Because I'm trying to figure out how you did it in time frame. Yeah, it was basically, I'm going to explain it once. I'm going to explain it really quick. Price made a high over here when Friday candle closed, and this was the weekly candle open. This was the support we were talking about. Support needs to hold for price to go up. Support was held on a 30-minute candle. The support was held again on a 30-minute candle, and then took a buy at this candle. And then price moved up to around 10, 11 pips, secured profits, and called it the Asian session. And then the next 30-minute candle continued to move up. So that was my buys in the Asian session. And if you look in GJ right now, it's definitely closing above 135, 500 to continue moving up to 135, 670, and then 135, 800. It's pretty good. If this closes above 500, would you wait for a bullish candle to form? I'm not taking any more trades. I mean, if you're taking trades, then maybe you're waiting for this high to be broken right here to take a buy, and then you're anticipating a stop loss too, right? I think the stop is going to be below over here. But once the high gets broken, now it broke in the first 2 minutes, so like now you have to manage your positions in these buys if you're in these buys. If you're not confident enough to take buys, just take a small position and see if it really works. If it works, man, it's going to work again and again and again and again. Because this was a strong level here, 135, 500. Where to get started? Best place to get started is on babypips.com. Babypips.com.
So Roger, go back to the 15 minutes. So that's what I was saying earlier when someone asked to take those impulse buys. So now that the 15 minutes form support on that bullish candle, you could go ahead and take an entry above the break of the 15 minute, but you have to keep in consideration that now you're going to have like a 12, 13 pip stop.
Yeah.
And then you have a minor resistance on the 15 minutes at the top. What would be the perfect setup if the 15 minute closed bullish below a little bit more down, so that way you could ride it up to that resistance level? But you have a minor resistance right now on the 15 minutes and the 30 minutes.
Any special guests this week? Yes, we're having Nick Sean coming on as a guest this Friday.
Who is Nick Sean?
Nick Sean is a trader out from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, Texas. He's out from Texas. So we're gonna have him on. Situation like here, previous higher low is broken and might gonna break higher high. Which one is more important? I think having a bias is more important, and the bias is bullish. You know, it broke the high over here. Bias is bullish. That's more important. I take a lot of impulse trades at resistance support zones on retest to get better entries. Risky, but it works. Yeah, if it works, then it works, right? Gold, yeah, gold has been taking a tumble over here. Broke the support, now it's continuing down to the next support here, and then essentially down towards, you know, this is. See, like buying gold now is, I mean, it's very difficult. Queen Lee trying to expose him yesterday. Man, Queen Lee, he's grabbing straws right now. He's trying to go after everybody. It's crazy. Can you invite Q Banks as a guest? Yeah, I can reach out to him, invite him again. He was on the live streams once, I think like a year ago when we first started. He came on as a guest. Do you have Telegram? No. Don't have Telegram. Do you ever try and think like market makers and institutions when trading? Nope, not at all. I take a trade, and if it's a win, it's a win. If it's a loss, then that's a learning lesson. That's it. Try to keep it really, really simple. Alright, let's see here. Just blew my account on gold, had 2 weeks off to reset my psychology, then made a stupid gamble and overtraded today because I saw gold flying. Amazing. I mean, since this stream started, I've been saying, don't overtrade. It's a Monday. Just relax. Just chill out. Don't overtrade. And people still lose money. I think when you do that to yourself on Monday, I think in the back of your mind you're telling yourself, I deserve to blow this account. I deserve to blow this account. You know, and when you see your account go from negative 10% to negative 20%, negative 30%, negative 40, negative 50, I mean, you should just stop. There's a point it comes that you should just stop. Like so many people here, they've been blowing accounts. What's the point that you're gonna just stop? That you're gonna say, okay, you know what? This is the number of accounts, and I just need to stop right here, and maybe just quit trading, or maybe like, you know, get a grip on life to see what's going on, because it's just madness.
They won't, because internally, this is the funny thing about FX and the FX industry. You have thousands of people that have no education or no real idea of what they want to do, trying to learn FX as an escape. And they will keep beating themselves over the head to think that this is the only way that they're able to make money in life. And they will keep losing money after losing money, or losing money after losing money, because blowing an account doesn't mean anything to people, because they hear everybody does it so that it's okay, but it's not okay. But the real reason that people blow accounts is because deep down inside, they don't want to trade FX. They just want to make money. They want to gamble. Go to a casino. It's much more exciting. You can win and lose money in seconds. Why waste a whole week trading an account and then going from $100 to zero in a week? Go to a casino. You can take that $100, you can flip it to 200. You know, leave there, buy your buddies a couple of beers, and have a good time.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like when people overtrade, it's not about they want to learn to trade; they just want to make money.
Yep. I see it all the time. There's no emotional maturity. If you want to coin a phrase, it's called emotional maturity. There's people that don't have it because this is their last hurrah, right? So you figure you're 23, 24. I know 80% of the gulag is in between ages of 18 and 28. Let's use that as a good age range because I'm pretty sure that's 80% of the gulag. And then out of that 80%, I would say 50% of the gulag is doing something in life that they don't want to do. They're working at a crappy job, they're going to school, and they don't like the courses they're taking. This is just an escape. This is their chance. Like this is when you watch Batman, I think it's Batman Begins or Batman, the one with Bane. You know, when Batman gets thrown down into that little like jail, it's a huge, I guess, like almost like a sewer well. You know, he gets thrown in there and then he has to climb out and he has to climb and grab the rock. This is what the gulag is. Everybody's in there in that jail cell and they're all trying to jump to grab that rock to get out of that like deep hole in the ground. It's not going to happen. You're not Batman. It's not going to happen. You just have to basically look at your life and say, what are things that I need to improve on, and work at them slowly. There's not going to be a quick fix to anything that you're going to do in life. So the faster you realize that, the faster you look at your life objectively and be like, hey, I'm taking courses in school I don't like. I got a job I don't like. I have things that I don't like. I have to change them. FX isn't going to be that change. FX will assist you with that change, but FX isn't going to be the sole identity of that change. So don't put so much pressure and put so much weight on trying to make it as a full-time trader. You know, and if you can slowly integrate your life into trading, you'll realize trading is very fun and very relaxing when it's not your be-all end-all, right? Think about trading like that girl you want to talk to. If you obsess over that girl every minute, every day, you call her, text her 24/7, she's gonna just get sick of you. And that's what trading will do to you. Trading will just make you sick. You're gonna lose your account. But if you show trading that you have other ideas in your head, you have other things you can do, you know, you're on your path with different things, you know, trading will respect you, just like a woman would respect your ambition, because you know you're not 100% into her every single minute of the day. You know, you're building your businesses, you're trying to get somewhere, you're trying to be somebody. They're going to respect you more than that, than you going over to their house every day and they're asking you, hey, what are you doing here? Don't you have a life? And you're like, no, my life is you, everything I do is for you. You know, they're going to look at you and be like, man, I want you to be ambitious. I want you to go get a job. I want you to be successful. I just don't want you to focus on me, right? Think about trading like that, and I think you'll improve your outlook. You know, take your time, do your thing. Trading shouldn't be your number one priority. Trading should be part of your day, but it shouldn't be your full day.
This. Hey, why don't you follow more pairs beside GJ? Surely all pairs have the same rules. Yeah. I only trade GJ and sometimes gold. That's it. So that's why I'm only mainly have GJ and gold open. And if you have other ideas, send them through, and we're gonna take a look at that. What do you think about gold? Gold was a nice sell below, 1939, and right now it's just I don't think anything about gold. Nothing. I don't trade gold as often a lot. No, gold is just like quick grabs, because if you look at this, man, this is a huge move. This was a 70 pip move. So if you have a chart on gold, send it through and we'll take a look at it. Do you think GG is going to have trouble passing through 135, 650? No, not at all. I think it's going to move straight through this area if it comes up towards 135, 660, and it's going to go up to 135, 800. It's going to move through it like a hot knife through butter. That's why I love being in Australia. I can do whatever I want during the day, and then in the afternoon, I have an option to trade London or New York. Man, I think you Australians, you have the best time zones. Australia, people living in Asia, best time zones. You can trade New York session, trade London. You can basically trade all sessions. Remember that this guy is where you want to be, so it's easier to speak confidently at the finish line. Keep going because this is your goal. Go for it. Yes. The path to the finish line was not easy at all. It was a long and treacherous path. And the biggest obstacles I had in my path was just myself, you know, like overtrading. That was it. That was it. Like we have around what? We have around 2,400 people in the Gulag, and then we have around 180 people in Zoom, right? If you look at your losses, if you look at your losing days and losing weeks and blown accounts, all those things are going to have one similarity, and that one similarity, no, actually two similarities, and two similarities are going to be you just overtraded, you over leveraged, and that's it. You took a loss, you were in a losing position, you added more losses to that position. That's all what happened. If you blew account in one day, that means you risked way too much. There's no other reason you can fail. I say this every day. Every day you can ask me, hey, what's a big tip you can give? Just don't overtrade, don't over risk. 1 to 2 trades today, call it a day. That's it. There's nothing more to it. And it's going to take time. That taking time is the hardest part. For you to just sit and wait for the next 4 or 5 months to see if this really works. That's what takes time, and that's where people fuck up because people don't want to give it time. If you don't give it time, you're never gonna know if it's gonna work or not. But if you give it time, you're gonna know in 6 months whether this is gonna work or not. How many accounts have you blown? That doesn't matter. How many accounts I've blown. I'm doing 1 to 3 trades a day. Look for your setups, take them, and manage them. That's it. 1 to 3, 1 to 2 trades a day. It's perfect. My $40 account lasted me longer than my 1K account. Beautiful. Ted is able to see the bigger picture in rational perspective, and I'm trying to emulate his thinking. Thanks, Ted. Thanks, Ted.
I don't think it's seeing the big picture. I just think it's self-awareness. I think as human beings, and especially this is a very male-dominated industry, there is so much ego and so much pride on the line. People are afraid of making mistakes or asking for help or saying that they can't do something. And it's a pure ego thing. And I think if you remove the ego and the pride and you just say, hey, I'm struggling with this aspect of trading, or I'm not able to do this, can you help me? You'd be surprised. The progress level of many would increase tenfold. But as a male, you're taught at an early age to, mask your emotions, be strong, do this. You have to be the provider for the house. You have to support everybody. So there's an underlying pressure as a male to perform in this industry. And if you don't, then there's almost something wrong with you. And that's the total wrong mindset when it comes to actual trading. Trading should not be something where there's ego or pride. It should be, hey, I either execute A or execute B, and this is the outcome. And I have to be satisfied with that potential outcome. And I say it 10,000 times. Every time you take a trade, the first thing you should ask yourself is, how much am I willing to lose? That even before you look at the charts, you should write down that number or put it down on a piece of paper. How much am I willing to lose in this trade? And if I can't find a trade that matches that comfort level, there's no trade. It doesn't matter where you want to place your stop loss, doesn't matter where you want to place your take profit. But if I can't find something that matches up with my initial thought process, there is no trade. Gold can go up to $62,000, but if I can't find an opportunity in that chart, then there's no trade for me. I watch it go by. Last night I took a trade with gold. I took a buy. I could have held it for another 50, 60 pips. I didn't do it. That wasn't according to my plan. I had a specific plan in my mind. I executed according to that, and I was done. And gold continued to rise. If I wanted a bigger trade, I would have had to plan a bigger trade. I would have had to adjust how much I could possibly lose. There's a lot more thought process involved. When you get to that level and you start doing those things on a regular basis, you will see your trading improve tenfold. When you remove the ego and you remove the pride and you remove that ability saying that, hey, trading is something that has to support me. I have to support my family. I have to support my mother, my father. I have to retire them. I have to do all this stuff. You don't have to do any of that. You know what? The whole notion of you having to support your parents is a fallacy. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is. Yes, we do want to support our parents, but man, they worked all their lives to also build a nest egg for themselves. If they didn't do that, is that your fault? You weren't asked to come into the world. Like your parents created you. You were born from your parents. You didn't go to your parents and knock on their door and be like, hey, I'm here right now. Start supporting me. They made the conscious decision to have you. So therefore, they would have had to plan all around that aspect. And obviously things change, but at the end of the day, if we can't support our parents, that's okay. You don't have to feel guilty about that. You don't have to feel that you're less of a family member or less of a person. They made the choice to have you. You didn't make the choice to have yourself. So always keep that in mind. I hear all the people DMing me all the time, oh man, I gotta help my family, I gotta pay their bills. And I sit back and I wonder, it's like, well, you know, like, it's not your fault that your parents can't pay their bills. Like that's, I know it sounds bad and rough, but it isn't. You know, you can try and help them, but trading isn't going to, putting that stress on yourself as a trader to say, I have to make it because I have to help my parents. I mean, that's the ultimate hurt when it comes to it, because you now are trying to support 3 people instead of supporting just one. So, you know, take a good look. Help your parents when you have the ability to. Don't make it your life's mission to help your parents when you're not even helping yourself first. Like, really think about that. I guarantee you your parents would look at you and say, you know what, try and get yourself together before you start throwing money at us, or you're trying to help us. Get yourself straight, because you have so much more of your life to live than your parents do. And, you know, at the end of the day, you'll feel a lot better about yourself, because it's not that you're neglecting that idea that you want to help your parents. It's you're doing things in logical order. You know, you have to be able to help yourself before you help your parents. And then when you help your parents, yeah, you can give them the world. You can do everything. But don't put that undue pressure on yourself. You know, it's very, very, you know, hard for you to do anything if you're going to have that undue pressure of, if I don't help my parents, I'm a failure. Like, it's such a bad way of thinking. Your parents will not think you're a failure if you're not able to help them. They want you to help themselves first. Like, help yourself get to where you need to be, then help your parents. It's easy. Just do one thing at a time. Don't put all these ideas and thoughts in your head of things that you have to do before you're even doing things for yourself first. And really set yourself up, then set your parents up. You know, because all you're going to do is you're just going to force yourself into depression. You're going to force yourself into anxiety. You're going to sit back and you're going to say, how come I can't succeed? My parents are struggling now. I have to help them. I can't help them. I need to do this. And that's not what they want for your life. I know that's what you think, you know, whatever cultural, you know, whatever culture you're in, that's what you're supposed to do. But I guarantee you, if your parents see you struggle, they're not going to turn around and say, well, we need our cut. They're going to say, hey, help yourself, get on your feet first, and then come help us. I guarantee you, your parents have never once turned around and said, you have to help us before you help yourself. It doesn't work that way. Parents would never want you to fail trying to help them. They would want you to succeed and then be proud of you that you're able to help them afterwards. You know, so just really focus on getting yourself corrected, getting your mindset right, removing the ego, removing the pride, removing the undue pressures, and then letting things take their course, letting life take its course. Maybe you don't become successful in FX, maybe you become successful in other business ventures and you're able to help your parents there. But FX taught you the discipline, and it taught you the idea of how you have to work or how hard you have to work to get to where you need to be. Yeah. So, and I mean, you know, if it's your culture, if that's what you're supposed to do, maybe it's time to change the culture and be realistic. I mean, I don't know. It's like, if you're on a plane, the first thing they tell you is put your mask on first and then help somebody else. I mean, just look at how you take an airplane flight. It's the same idea. Nobody wants you to fail trying to help other people. They want you to be successful. They don't want you to kill yourself trying to do other things. But if that's what you think is your life goal, I guarantee you're going to fail in Forex. I mean, I can bet you millions of dollars that you'll fail in FX. If you think that you need FX to support your family and this is the only way you're going to do it, you're going to fail miserably. I can tell you that right now. You can record this conversation and you can play it to yourself over and over again. You will fail miserably, because you are not trading FX for the right reasons. You're trading to chase money. You're going to be making decisions based on the problematic situation that you have of having no money. And those decisions are going to affect your emotions and going to put pressure on you to make even more bigger and worse decisions. Guarantee it. You can write this down. You can record it. Today is July 27th at 8:25 a.m. You record that. I guarantee you, if you are doing this to try and support everybody in your family, and this is the only way you think you can support people, you will fail in FX. Bottom line. There's no other way about it. I've seen it happen too many times. Been here too long. So you take the road. You choose.
Hello, testing, testing. Testing, I'm good? Yeah, I guess I'm good. Yeah, yeah, it's not gonna work. Like, like if you're trading to pay off some debts or to, like, pay people off, or like you want to do some things because it's a matter of money, like it's not gonna work from trading, because you can't trade under pressure. When you trade under pressure, it just won't work. Because now you're forcing yourself to succeed, and when you force yourself to succeed, it ends up in even more stress. So think about that, right? You're in stress because you have no money. Now you're forcing trades, and now you're accumulating more stress. And it just becomes very bad. It affects your relationships, man. It affects a lot of things. I'm just having breakfast right now. If you have selfish parents, I feel bad for you, but you must take. Yeah, I think you need to change the thinking. You need to break that. I mean, it's in some cultures, it's very instilled in people that, okay, like once you really make it, you have to give everything away. I think you need to change that mindset. You need to change. I mean, the world is changing. I mean, I have no idea how to put it that way, but there needs to be a change. You need to put yourself first, and then, like, obviously, when you get better, the people around you, they get to see the same comforts. But man, first of all, if you can't take care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of everyone else too. If you're dedicated on actual learning and actually learning it, I want to learn for myself, but at the same time, I will definitely help my mother. It's not about the dollar for me, it's the skill. Yes. Yes. But you can't put everyone's well-being on, oh no, wait till I make it in Forex and then things are going to be better. No, that's not the case. That's not how it's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I've helped my parents. I help a lot of people. It's just I couldn't do that before I helped myself, nor did I think about doing that when I was struggling, when I was trying to get to where I am. It's a different story. I mean, I guess when I started trading, I never had a pressure to do anything because I just had a job, and I got comfortable with the idea of having a job as being adult daycare. Like that's what I always like. People at my office used to laugh at me because I used to walk in and be like, "Hey, we're here for another day of adult daycare," because that's really what a job is. You're there as an adult. You're there for the whole day. You know, you have breaks. You can go to the washroom. You have lunch. The meetings. You know, they're like playtime sessions, right? Because you have all the bigger teachers, which are your bosses, in the same meeting as you, trying to give you instruction, and they give you the fake smile or the fake, hey, how's it going, like everything good, or oh, did you see the Raptor game last night, man, that was a great game. Like they try and be chummy with you, or hey, let's go have a beer after work, right? Like that's an adult daycare, right? And they pick their favorites, and once a month they have like a pizza lunch, or you get like some sort of special thing, and or even better, you get like a little outing. They take you on this little trip. You get to go over to the local restaurant, and they have a team lunch, which is a team building exercise. So when you look at work that way, work became fun because you realized how silly it was. Like they were treating you like children, and you're not a child, you're an adult, you're working, you're making money, you have things to do. So you make the best of what you have. And when I started learning FX was just a side thing. It was just, hey, I'm at home right now, after my job, before my job. If I can put in some hours and figure something out, I've got finance background, I sort of understand risk management, I can get somewhere. If you put yourself in that mindset, you're good. Use your job as your stepping stone. Use it as a stepping stone. I hate my boss, I hate this. Everybody hates their boss. Nobody's ever had a boss that they like. There's always something wrong with a boss. That's why they're a boss. Don't look at it as a negative. Just be like, hey, you know what? This guy's still going to be here in 3 years from now or 4 years from now when I'm not here because I've done something with my life. That's all I looked at with my bosses. I still talk to my bosses from 5-6 years ago. They're still in the same spots. It's actually rather entertaining. It makes me laugh. And that's your, at the end of the day, that's where you really stick it to them, where you're like, hey, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do what I'm doing. And I'm going to look back and be like, you're still in the same spot. That's like the ultimate satisfaction when you look at it. I look at people that I worked with that were earning more money than me, that were better than me at their job, and they're higher up in the organization. 5 years later, still in the same spot, still doing the same grind. I look at where I am, I'm miles ahead of them. I want to go out for lunch today, I can go out for lunch. There isn't anyone telling me what I can do.
Oh man, like the corporate world is so toxic.
Yeah.
I got a taste of that yesterday. So my wife, like, she's really good at what she does, and like everyone was like, oh yeah, you're best, this and this and that. And yesterday she got a call from one of her managers, and they said that you took 3 minutes extra on a personal break last week. What was that for? And I was like, what?
Wow.
I'm like, if someone tells me that, god damn. 3 minutes. So like this basically goes to show that how long it has been me working in a corporate world that I forgot that someone would be anal about that. And when I heard that, I was like, man, thank you so much, Raja Banks. You got disciplined and you got away from all that. And yeah, I mean, that was just, I don't know, man. Like, I would take this as an insult, like 3 minutes fight. Like, corporate world is really, really toxic. And like, as Ted said, like, when you really see that, okay, like, Forex has that ability to get you out of that world, man, grab it. But at the same time, you have to be very realistic about the gains as well. You just can't say, because I remember when I joined Ted, he still had his job. Like, you still worked for the next, 6-7 months. Like, you're making great money, but you're still working on the job, because yeah, not sure if I'm gonna leave right now. And then the change happened. Is that a pitcher or a blender? Oh, this is a blender. I drink it right off the blender.
God. I was looking at that thing. It's too big. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, because then I don't have to wash the glass, you know, like it's easier to just wash one thing.
Wow. So GJ is a mess today.
Mess, nothing, just confusion. If someone's new over here and you're analyzing a chart, and if you're looking at the chart, you're like, man, this is so confusing. I need help with analysis. Trust me, you don't need help with analysis. You need help with patience to wait for the next day. Because looking at this, this is just so stupid the way the market structure is here. There's no trade here. Gold as well, kind of ranging, bounced off the support. If it breaks, it's coming down towards 1931. Yeah, it's just Monday. I still work to put money into my trading account every week. That's awesome. You know, that's actually very awesome. You do that. I think that's the best way to go about that. Like, you know, like as long as you're not blowing that money on and you're just like adding money to your trading account, you're consistently making gains. One day you're gonna realize is that, hey man, listen, like I'm making almost the same at my job. So I can basically just kind of like relax at my job for a little bit because now I'm making more. So now the stress goes away from your job. And then a time comes when you start making more on trading than you make on your job. You know, and that takes more time. And once you get to that level, then you start thinking, okay, like, you know what? This light at the end of the tunnel, I'm reaching that light right now. I can see that light is right there. All I gotta do is just like stick a few more months and then I'm in the light. And then you just gotta maintain it. Caught 20% gain. Oh, nice. All right. What's this? If they were numbering here, it would have been much easier. So I'm going to try to just guess here. Entered on retracement. Okay, when the candle was still bearish. Closed half at the break of 15-minute low. Okay. Second one here. Not sure what that means. Two bullish 15-minute candle close. Oh, so you bought right here with the anticipation it's going to continue moving up. Okay. I should have waited for 30-minute candle to close bullish, but I've seen GJ make moves. Yeah, it's still good. Like I mean, you maintained your risk, right? You closed half at 15-minute low when it was broken. It's good. You mitigated your risk, but at the same time, I think it got a little bit risky because basically your resistance was right here, right? There wasn't enough range.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you entered on a retracement right here, your resistance was right over here. Yeah, next time. How long did it take you to perfect your strategy? Here's the thing. Okay, so we got what? We got around 2,300 people here. There's no strategy. You're not perfecting a strategy. You're perfecting the way you read candles. You know, it's like when you know that if a candle couldn't break resistance, couldn't go down, and then you had a candle close below, like, you know, a support here, and then a resistance is formed, then it's heading down. You're watching these things happen. You know, you're making mental notes of it. You're taking mental pictures of different ways candles are printing. And when that happens the next time, then that's the opportunity to execute the trade on those things. What's this? Challenging to get knowing. The candle moves. Right after this candle broke the higher low, killed the bias on buy. Yes, exactly. Killed the bias and bias. I think most people just look at the charts just to be like, okay, let's see if we can find a trade or not. I don't think many people look at the charts in a way to say that, okay, let's say that maybe this move up happened. You know, someone's going to say, okay, how could I have caught this move? When you start looking at the trade to say that, okay, how could I have been in that trade? Then that's where the real learning starts. That's when you start learning. Because those things are going to happen over and over again. How old were you when you started Forex? I was 29. Yeah, I was 29 years old when I started trading. Um, yeah, trading, man, trading for me started as a hobby. It didn't even start as to make money. I was making great money at my job. Trading just started as because we had a lot of downtime. I was maybe working like 3 hours in the day and then providing support, and the rest of the day I had a lot of time on my hands. So I wanted to do something that time. Trading came.
Raja, this is a personal question because,
Mm.
okay, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I don't know, probably in a
How do
big.
how do you picture yourself?
Well, right now the house we bought is for 2,200 square feet, so I see myself in like a bigger house and with 2, 3 more kids.
Three markets. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Financially, I have no idea, man. Things financially can crash and can go up more. No idea. Financially, it's very hard to say financially.
Awesome.
Uh, like when you go to the job, when you go to your job, like interviews and stuff, they always ask you, so what are your 5-year goals? And just not sure, uncertain. It's all those things are uncertain. I think um, by trading, this has really taught me a lot of things. That if someone says, okay, where do you think price will go? Then we can say, okay, it might come down towards 135, but we don't know, right? And so yeah, 5 years, I don't know, it's very, very uncertain. But definitely more kids. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 17. What's your advice on learning to trade? Man, you have a lot. If someone's here in this gulag, and you are below 24, I think you have a lot of time. If you're below 24, you have a lot of time. I mean, focus on school, focus on your job, just focus on those things which are running in your life right now, and keep trading as a hobby. Learn to trade, but don't force to trade. Don't force yourself to trade. Don't force yourself to succeed, because I think if you're young and you're trying to trade here, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Man, trust me, when you're young, in your 20s, early 20s, late teens, man, you have a pressure from society, you have pressure from parents, you have pressure from your job. So you just gotta relax. You don't need pressure from trading. Keep this as a side hobby. All right, Kush sent a chart here. Which of these levels do you think is the more potential SNR level when price reaches this range? Both are. Both are important SNR levels, because this was a resistance formed, which was a support, and then this was a support formed because, yeah, it was a support formed. So both are important. This is a consolidation area. So when price comes back in here again, it's more likely to consolidate, because it will look left and it will say, okay, my buddy's consolidated here before, so it's more likely it's going to consolidate here. And then it's more likely it's going to have a clean run above this white line, because we had a clean run here before. I'm still in the womb and trading. Beautiful. How did you feel when you had a 9 to 5 job and started Forex? Motivated by becoming financially free, or got bored with your job and kind of stepped into Forex? No, I had a lot of time on my hands. Um, I had a lot of time on my hands. It's funny, because the way how I progressed financially at my jobs was that the more I made, the more time I had. It was like, I started off in sales. So when you start off in sales, you're like, oh, if you meet your targets in the first 2 days, then you're like, whatever, you can do, I mean, whatever you want after that. Um, some days we go out and we reach our sales target in the first 4 hours, and then we had, okay, well, now we don't have to work anymore any longer, to get more sales, because trading is the same thing. If you take 1 or 2 trades a day and let's say some people reach their weekly goal in 2 days. Now what do? Now you can just relax, and that's the discipline you get from working I don't know. I think trading discipline, half of it was built through working in sales, for me at least, personally speaking. Do you see yourself as a paid ambassador for Pakistan mangoes in the next 5 years? I think that can happen, but you know what? What we're trying to do, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret, right? So a goat costs around $300 in Pakistan. You can buy a baby goat for like $30, and you can buy hundreds of those, and then you can raise them, and then you can sell them after a year because there's a big festival that happens where people do, sacrifices of animals, and it's a huge business. There's like a 200% markup on that after being fed and paid for everything, like accommodation and everything like that. So, goat ambassador, that's coming up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is the sacrifice is the word? Do they eat the animal? Don't they?
Yeah. So the animal is, they slaughter the animal, and then you just kind of like skin it, and then you eat it. Then you eat
Okay.
it. Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, it's kind of the same as the Cuban people. They used to eat pork almost every week. So, but basically, you know how Thanksgiving you used to, you gotta have the turkey. They don't buy turkey. They get pork. They have this
Okay.
roast pork. It's really good.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know some people, when they heard that word sacrifice, their mind probably went left. So I had to correct that. I had to correct
Sacrifices?
that.
Is this a cult?
Because just like the American tradition, you guys sacrifice turkeys.
Yeah.
So same tradition.
Can YouTube and Baby Pips teach me enough to start, or do I need mentor courses really get going? Baby Pips is going to help you out a lot. YouTube is going to help you out a lot. It will help you a lot, man. Getting a mentor, it's obviously going to speed up the process, but you got to choose the right mentor. So I think YouTube and Baby Pips is still pretty good. Hey, I'm 20. I finished school, just working and trade on the side. I have about 15,000 saved. What do you guys? Man, if you're 20, you have 15,000 saved, I think you are way ahead of your peers. When I was 20 years old, I maybe had $15 saved up. What do you guys think is my next step? You just finished school. I would say get the job where you wanted to get a job on. Get that thing going. Get that history. Get that history built up. And on the side, have trading as a side hobby now. You've done school, the stress from school is done, you have money saved up in the bank. I'd say, man, you can start off with $1,000 in trading account easy and see if it works or not. And if it starts working, then that's awesome. Like, because in 4 or 5 months, you're going to understand that, okay, your $1,000 is now, let's say, is up to 2,000 or 3,000. You can then add more money in it. And then you can say, okay, awesome, let me add more money and go with that. But that's good. That's good. You're in a very good place right now. So, someone sent this chart. Danny sent this chart. Yeah, so it's right. Oh, what's this? Clean range. Get tagged in and out real quick. Oh, so this was a sell stop, or what was it? I don't know what this was. If this was a sell stop, or you're waiting for price to come down, or if this was an impulse entry. But oh, this was market order. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think if you guys are new, shouldn't be using market orders or impulse entries. You should be waiting for candles to close with confirmations and then take trades. Yeah, should have waited for like a confirmation candle closing below support, especially on a Monday, right? Because like whenever you're taking an impulse entry, I really regret that I brought this idea of impulse entries, because people don't know how to use it. They're aggressive, risky entries. And when you take aggressive, risky entries, there's a higher probability for you to lose a trade, right? So, hey, you should have waited for a candle to close below. Especially when you're new, you should always wait for candles to close below. Wait for candles to close in your direction first. Because on a Monday, if you're taking an impulse entry, that's double the risk. On Fridays, if you're doing the same thing, that's still double the risk.
Yeah, I think also too, people have to understand the flow of the market. And I know we go through this a lot, but you have to put yourself in the shoes of how the market is working. Mondays and Fridays are, for lack of better terms, exit and entry points into the market, because of the fact that everyone shows up to work on Monday. Everybody leaves work for the weekend on a Friday. So you have to take that with a grain of salt. So think about this. Just put yourself in your opponent's shoes for a minute, okay? So your opponent are institutions. We don't know how institutions trade, but what do we know about institutions? Institutions, they work Monday to Friday, they have their hours, they have certain objectives, they have certain goals. So think about that. As you think about an institution and you think what they're trying to do, their main goal is to generate wealth, whether it's shareholder wealth, whether it's institutional wealth, returns based on risk, things of that nature. So we know that as retail traders. So you have to understand that there's going to be instances of profit taking, instances of entries being pushed into the market at various times throughout the week. Now, when you deduce that and you actually go through sort of just a regular work week, a lot of things set up on Monday and a lot of things close on a Friday. So it's the reason why I've always said, it's very difficult to trade on Mondays and Fridays because all the institutions are trying to set things up for the week. They're exiting on a Monday from holding positions over the weekend. Friday, they're exiting positions because they don't want to hold them over the weekend. People are entering positions on a Friday to start the following week. So the beginning and ends of the week are very, very tough to trade because when you think logically, a lot of exits and entrances are happening on Mondays and Fridays. So when you start to look at the way the candles are formed on Mondays and Fridays, we do have those days where we have major moves, major breakouts, but they're also very choppy during those days. So as you start to progress through the middle of the week, you'll start to realize that there's some sort of stability or there's a trend starting for the week. It carries on for the monthly candle, it carries on for the weekly candle, things of that nature. So you're allowing the market to play its hand. What you're saying is like today, as an example, like the market's shooting up, like gold went up, Euro USD went up, pairs are moving very violently in one direction, right? So you say, well, I wish I could have caught that move. It's like, well, chances are now they've played their hand. You're going to see opportunities later this week to, sort of catch the second part of that move or to actually see where they're going. So that's why a lot of times on Mondays and Fridays, really don't push yourself to try and get something. I mean, if there's an opportunity, definitely take it, but it's not the be all end all. You're going to have lots of opportunities Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the market. It always happens. It's one of those things where, yeah, we see the charts right now that, gold skyrocketed, Euro USD skyrocketed, but man, I can show you where GJ skyrocketed 6 months ago and nobody remembers, right? So it's all perspective. It's all understanding that this happens over and over again, and you're going to get that opportunity in the market. That's all. So don't really stress if you didn't get anything today, or you watched all these moves go by. It happens all the time. Go look at GJ. Let's look at GJ back on June 1st. GJ went from 134 to 137. Like, we missed that move back in June. So, oh well, like you can see right now here, this whole move here, you had this whole move up here, it just went all the way up. So, you missed that move. Did anybody cry? No, nobody worried. People caught the move back down here, and you can see here we started again. So I mean, just get used to it. The easier, the more relaxed you are around the market, and the more understanding that this is always going to happen. You always have these giant moves. You had this whole move up here. You had this whole move down here. Like you had a whole move. Excuse me, up here. There's 1, 2, 3, there was 3 possibilities that you already missed this year. Probably over here, there's going to be another. So, you know, you get used to it. It happens enough that you won't catch them all, but you will probably catch one of them a lot. So. And if you miss the move, chances are you'll see there's multiple days where the move continued. So it wasn't just one daily candle, it was multiple daily candles. So you'll be okay.
You know, I think this is a retracement on the daily to continue moving bullish.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't break 135, we're good to go further up. I wouldn't be surprised. I think this week's target is 137. To be honest, I mean, I look at the weekly candle, and we're going to fill that range going on the way up. If we don't break 135, if we don't break 135 to the downside, that this weekly candle flips bullish, and we top back up again to that resistance level.
Yep. Here's my trade. Also, can you have any suggestions or opinions entering second positions? I have no opinions on second positions because it's Monday. Oh wow, what's this? Bullish entry candle over here. Add another position after the candle closed bullish. Bad idea. Close under resistance anyway. Close second entry after price pulled back first entry. Okay. Close half on first. Got stopped out. Awesome. Yeah, so I think the second entry was not good because it was still resistance right over here. But you managed your risk, which was pretty interesting, which is actually very nice. You managed your risk.
Yeah, if you're looking at GJ, I think for a long-term trade, if you're looking to swing trade GJ, I think if you look on the weekly, you may want to look at taking positions above this wick here, and then your take profit is probably over here, stop loss right over here. So I think you might have an opportunity, but to be honest, if you take a buy stop on the weekly over here, that means that this candle is now flipped bullish, and chances are we have momentum. But more importantly, if you're not comfortable doing that, put a price alert here. So Google MT4 or MT5 price alerts that you can have sent via email. You can actually have a script in your meta quotes to send you an email that when price hits this level here, that maybe we should be evaluating the market and saying, hey, now we're going on the way up. So what you can do, or a price alert over here, right? You can put price alerts there, and that means you have a very strong weekly candle either to the bearish side or to the bullish side, and you can possibly have a very good trade at that point. So lots of opportunity, how you plan things and what tools you use to plan your ideas. Now you know if you set a price alert, you can come back to the charts when that price alert's hit. And if it doesn't get hit, then you know you don't have a trade. It's very, very easy.
Let's see here. It's almost 9 a.m. Monday, 9 a.m. Let's take a look at US 30 here for fun. It's also ranging here. I know that you think GJ will reach 139, but do you think it will reach it this week? No, I don't think this week it's gonna happen. Because for this week, for it to happen, well, who knows? You know, you never know. Because in June we had a massive 600-700 pip week. So what's stopping this weekly candle to go all the way up towards, 139 to have like a 400 pip week? Who knows? We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at this last chart and then I'm off. I'm off for the day.
Today is gym day.
Yeah, today is gym day. Oh, gym day. Nice.
Gym day. Yeah, I booked my times for this week.
Oh, wrong chart. So wait, so in Good Life, you can book times for like one day for every day?
Yeah, so you basically have a week. Yeah, you have a week in advance to book your time. So like say last Tuesday, you could book for this Tuesday. So after like within 7 days, you're able to book for that day. So
Okay.
yeah, so now I can go to the gym every day at 10:30. It's forcing me to go at a specific time.
Yeah, I think that's good in a way because now you're not like, all right, I'm just gonna go after half an hour or something like that. If you don't go at this time, you're gonna miss the gym for that day.
Well, no, if you don't go, if you register and you don't go, then they ban you.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You missed. I think it's if you miss 2 days in a row or you miss 2 appointments in a row that you don't show up, you're not allowed to register again for a week. You get like a week timeout.
It's like iPhone screen lock,
Yeah.
You get timed out. Damn.
Yeah. So you really have to plan it. So, but I mean, obviously you can cancel 24 hours in advance and whatnot. But yeah, they just don't want you to book. I guess they don't want you to book like a whole week and just not show up because you're taking time from everybody else.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, my gym is like open. My gym is like come in, wear a mask, take the mask off while you work out, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
LA Fitness, man, I'm telling you.
I used to work out at LA Fitness because they had a basketball court there. I used to play basketball. There's actually one by my house. It's a little bit further out though. It's like about 10 minutes from me.
Oh, that's pretty far away.
Yeah, because like the gym I go to now is like 30 seconds. 10 minutes is a bit of a hike. Anyone bench over 100 kilograms? Yeah, I think most of us can.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's like almost 225.
Yeah, but I don't think bench is a I guess what the word is, it doesn't prove anything. It's a glamour statement when you can say you can bench 225. Like everyone asks how much you can bench, but I think core strength and overall strength is more indicative of how in shape you are, not how much you can bench. Because I mean, technically, you could work on a bench press for the next 3 months and bench like 300 pounds, or not 300, but maybe 250 pounds. But then your legs could be super weak, right? So I think overall core strength and overall strength is more important than just one sort of exercise. Why don't you guys work out together? Because Raja and I do too much together. Working out together would just add to it.
All right, I'm gonna head off over here. Got some things to do today.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, everybody. Have fun. Stay safe. Stay strong. What's this? Okay, turn this off. All right, Gulag, take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Just don't. It's a Monday. If you've not taken trade so far, just don't force a trade. If you're taking a loss, don't force a trade. It's a Monday. You don't want Monday to be the end of your account, or 50% of your account, and you don't want to do that. So just gotta relax. Adios, amigos. Shukriya, shukriya.